Okay, to start the practice, just find a comfortable way to sit. It's not trying to make your posture perfect, but it's a sense of doing the best you can, and maybe the body sending a message to the mind that we're doing something worthwhile. And if you would want to check in with the way you're sitting, do it from the inside. Are you kind of holding on to something that you might want to let go of? To sit in a way that's not too loose but not too tight. That has purpose, but not striving for results. And of course we practice because we want to be happier. We want to suffer less. And we wish the same for others. And one of the biggest ways we suffer is by making things worse than they have to be. So we're going to look into that. These moments that maybe I don't need to follow that disaster story, that catastrophe. Don't need to make it worse. Would that be possible? So first of all, just checking in and noticing whether or not you're thinking, whether thoughts are happening. What kind of thoughts have been with you today so far? And there's a freedom in this because we're not actually trying to change the thoughts or get rid of them. We're simply acknowledging that sometimes thoughts happen. And we're establishing that it is possible to be aware of our own thinking instead of being lost in thought. So what are you thinking? And then as well as the thinking, there's an internal weather. How do you feel today? And maybe we ask ourselves, how do I feel about how I feel? And noticing that there is this complexity of being human. So listening to ourselves, checking in with ourselves, like you would greet a friend. How are you today? With the chance to be heard, with the opportunity to be honest, without fear of judgment. How do you feel? And it may not have a name, but it's just tuning in to how you feel. And then turning attention to the body and what sensations might be there. Could you notice something that you weren't aware of until you turn the attention towards the sensations? There may be a tendency to describe the sensation, to talk about it. There may be a tendency to like it or dislike it. There may be a tendency to interpret it. Would it be possible just for a moment to experience it just as it is, just as it happens, just as it changes? And maybe with the fleeting awareness of the sensations and the thoughts and the mood and the feelings, would there be a possibility to just acknowledge your own presence just as it is right now, today? And then turning attention to acknowledge where in your body you notice the breath. What movement can you feel as you breathe? Would it be possible, without trying too hard, to kind of stay with the flow of the breath, to be with it? And perhaps noticing that you don't actually have to try to breathe, that the body just breathes. Breathing happens. And we can choose to be aware of it. So how would it be to hold an intention to maintain an awareness of breathing? How would you do that? How would you know that you're breathing and maintain that sense of knowing? It probably doesn't require that we stop everything else, but that the breath is there as a reference point, and everything else is free to happen. With the intention to maintain an awareness of breath, is it possible that a few thoughts might come and go, and we choose not to follow them? You would probably find it's easier to maintain the sense of knowing that you're breathing if you don't hold on too tight. And if you do find yourself lost in a story, you've jumped on the train of thought, you don't actually need to wait till the next station to get off again. You can just come home to the breath. Is that possible? Allowing the body to breathe, allowing thoughts to come and go, and maintaining a feeling of knowing without getting involved. What we're resting is the feeling that I need to get involved and I need to interfere all the time. I could take a break, be off duty. And then with just the lightest bit of awareness of breath, really gentle touch on the breath, maybe we could welcome everything back. The thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the sensations, the sounds. And see what it would be like to sit open to whatever might arise. And then before we bring the practice to a close, maybe just looking back. First of all, well done to all of us for actually showing up and taking the time to practice together. For acknowledging our deep wish to be happy and to suffer less and to be better able to help others. And having the courage and the patience to work with how it is to be human. And then gratitude. What do you appreciate? None of us got here on our own. Who springs to mind that you might feel gratitude for? That's helped you to become who you are. And perhaps we're grateful for the practice, that we've inherited these simple practices, seeing what it would be like to kind of not go along with what seemed to be the default settings. A little bit of rebellion maybe. And then if there is a glimpse of freedom, that I don't have to follow every thought. That it's possible to not make things worse than they already are, and to allow them to get better. Is there a wish to share that with others? Just a simple wish that all goes well.